What's popular, YouTube? Another day, another demo. Yes, I'm back in Toronto. Oh my God. After a nightmare of a travel day, I'm back. We're in this right setup. We got these white borders, right? I got my move transitions. We're floating around. Oh, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. I'm excited. Oh, let me make sure that I'm probably going to, let me go ahead and test something live here just to make sure, okay? Hop in the game, play a little bit. Make sure that we get some game capture going on. And oh, beautiful, we do. Everything works, dude. Oh, so nice to be at home. Listen, it was fantastic, a blast and dream hack to have bought or given me a computer to use. It was awesome, but having 100 gigs of hard drive space and only be able to record one or two videos and then have to delete them, not having all my move transitions and this beautiful 27-inch screen with the lights, and it's good to be back at home. Nice background. Man, it feels great. Oh my goodness. The finals day, when we did the finals, it was a strawless vitality, and it went 3 maps, but it was a stomp on it was Dust 2 was insane. Do you guys see that last round on Dust 2? It was crazy. That was actually so good. Maybe I can find that. While I talk about that, the Dust 2 last round thing was so crazy. And then the fact that they got stomped on Inferno is also crazy as well. It was like that was a big thing because Dust 2 and Inferno were 2 maps that we didn't see in those 2 months of them playing against each other while they were building up their map pool since they last played at DreamHack Open Fall, and they were consistently beating every other team on Dust 2 on Inferno. And today, we're going to watch the game actually Vitality versus Big because they got a 14-1 T-side half versus Big Clan on Inferno. It had to be one of the worst CT sides I've ever seen in my life. One of the worst CT sides I've ever seen in my life from the Big Clan on Inferno. And maybe it works versus worse teams. And actually, I've also said that they actually did have some good halves on CT side. I used to think their CT side was very good, but after seeing Vitality test them, I can't find the last round of that game, but after seeing Vitality test them, we really got to see, what happens when a good T team comes at you, really pushes their CT sides. They couldn't do it. Right now, Vitality had the best Inferno in the world. They beat Astralis, and as far as I'm concerned, that was the proving ground. But after that game, it was like every map took away from time that we could sleep. Okay. So we had our flights. We had to be at the airport or fly at 6:20 a.m. And the final ended around midnight 12:30, something like that. So Connor didn't pack. So he forgot there was like a delay between the first and second series. So we went back to the apartments, and then we all chilled in Connor's room while he was packing. And then it became 2:30, and we were just chilling and talking. And then we're like, man, should we even sleep? So we ended up staying up all night, and then we stayed up until 5 a.m. because that's when we had to leave for the airport. We got in the cab, went to the airport. It was me, Connor, DJ, and Joey. And James Banks also had to go to the airport around the same time for a similar flight. And we got to the airport, still not slept yet. And me and Connor get on our plane, and then Joey, Banks, and DJ, their flight got canceled. So we stayed up all night, and their flight got canceled. And then they got it sorted eventually. But DJ's got to fly back to San Francisco. Joey's flying back to Atlanta. Banks been working his ass off, doing a bunch of extra shit. He was exhausted. I felt terrible. That's one of those situations. We've been gone since October 26th. October, November, December. Yeah, October 26th. And shout out to Pimp, Maniac, Banks, me, Scrawny, DJ. We did the whole thing together. DJ didn't come with us to Sweden, but he was working on Flashpoint all of that whole week. We did the whole thing together, this whole trip, and it was amazing. And we're like a combo now. We want to do like all the events together, whether it's Valorant, CS, whatever. Like, it was such a fun time, and consummate professionals, hard workers, you name it. Great guys, fun to be around, super chill. Everyone works hard, and what a great time. But when it's over and you're on, we did 100 and I don't even remember, like 140 maps or something of like CS and Valorant. I think with Valorant it was like 200, some crazy number. We did so many maps of CS, and for a flight to get canceled at the end of that, man, they should have got instant gold status, back massage, free upgrade to first class. The works. They should have got everything. They should have never had to pay for a flight again. They know what we've been through. Been through everything. But now I'm at home. We're back in the Coach Cloud studio. I'm excited, guys. This is good. As soon as I got back in, I have the quarantine. Now I have to quarantine for 14 days. Now I'm back here. So you're stuck with me. Okay. I let my mom like live in my apartment while I was gone. And she cleaned the place. The place came out cleaner than when I moved in. It was beautiful. I've already managed to mess it up a little bit just to make it feel more like my place. But man, cleaned everything. It was amazing. And she left tons of snacks, ketchup chips, Ferrero Rocher, however you say that, Ferrari Porsche, a little mini pack of Canada Dries, homemade curry in the fridge, two Tupperwares, 2 full Tupperwares, homemade curry. I already ate one whole thing. Tons of stuff. Eggs, coconut water on the table. Oh man, the works. Feels good. Feels really good. And I was pretty worn out by that last video. You guys could see it. I was down on the end of my rope. Okay, it's all the way at the end. But now I'm revitalized. I got back. I messaged my girlfriend. I was like, let's play Dota at 8 o'clock. It was 5 p.m. I was like, I'm going to take a nap. I was like a little bit wired. Like I slept a little bit on the flight, but I was like kind of up. And I was like, I'm just going to sleep at night, so sleep schedule doesn't get too messed up. So I'm going to just take a quick nap. Little 3-hour nap. Wake up at midnight. And nice 7-hour nap. And I see my phone. I was like, oh, shit. And she called me out. She knew I was going to sleep through it, too. I was like, oh, frick. And I was like, oh, how am I going to go back to sleep now? But I tried. I went to sleep. And then I woke up at 6 a.m. Slept damn near 13 hours straight. It was amazing. And I spent this whole day. I woke up 6 a.m. today. Feels like I've lived a lifetime. Feels like it's been 2 days. Got to wake up early more often. Just sat in my chair, watched YouTube videos, spent the whole afternoon trying to figure out some brand new computer problems that came up for no reason and getting all this set up. Hopefully there's not going to be anything wrong with this recording. I did a test recording before this. But, yeah, I had some crazy problem with my Steam Authenticator and got that sorted out. What else is new? That's it, I think. You want to go into the match? Little 9-minute intro. Not too bad. All right, let's go to the match. So this game. Oh, and I have 2 monitors. Oh my god, I can keep OBS on my other monitor. Oh my god. Okay, let me set this game up really quick. So this game, Big versus Vitality. It's a rematched IEM Global Challenge happened today. Because we got the fastest turnover on YouTube for these videos. They played this match on Inferno, and let's look at the, oh wait, no, it doesn't have the match stuff there. Okay, let's look at the last time that they played. So they beat Vitality this time, which is kind of nuts. Last time they picked up Vertigo, they picked it up again. But look at this shit, man. 16-1. Why? Big had a dog shit CT side. It was garbage. And the reason that I always talk about bad CT sides and what makes CT side bad on Inferno is when you're not pushing for information. Okay, the only 2 teams that do this properly are Vitality and Astralis. They push They find the opportunities to push, they push. They re-get information, they rotate properly. That's how you play proper. On big on this CT side, we could watch this one too for context. They didn't push a single time. They played passive in the sites, and they got owned every single round. And the worst part was they never learned. Even when they were down 7-1, 8-1, 9-1, 10-1, they never improved. They just continuously kept playing in the sites. And they had the one redeeming quality of their setups was they have these great deep banana nades from the site. So they land, and they land in the same spots that you would throw them from the top of a car or around the corner or whatever. And so that was a redeeming part of their strategy. But eventually those nades got avoided, and they would always fake top banana control and then fall back into the site. That guard got called out every single round. Vitality would just destroy them. And that was T side. Vitality on CT side, they push like crazy. They do it in a classy way. They don't just like push frantically. They don't just fight you when you're there. They find all the spots where you're not there and get the information back. Big did not do this at all. They played like shit. Okay, so now we're going to look at the IEM Global Challenge, where they had a marked improvement. 6 rounds on the CT side. In my opinion, that's a giant improvement from what we saw from Vitality last time. I didn't watch this match, so I want to know how. How did they get 6 rounds after getting 14-1 in the last match? That's the big question of the day. And yes, they lost a map, but the beauty of these videos, we only watch per half, right? We're trying to see what improvements are made in one specific half, because the second half has nothing to do with the first half for one team. So that's 2 different games that they're playing. So they ended up, sucking ass on T side because Vitality CT side's so good. But let's see what happened here. How'd they get 5 more rounds than they did last time versus Vitality? Just like a 2 days later, a day later. I hope we're not live. Let's go ahead and see. Surely that wasn't live. Are you kidding me? That was live? Why was Searson just sitting in spawn? That's actually a thing they do, huh? They just chill. Wow, that is surprising. I guess they're... do we have caster control? No, we don't have caster control. Okay, we're going to be observing. It's fine. That's funny. I guess they know nothing fast coming, so they're just chilling. That's good. Trust the game plan. I like that. It's brave, but I like it. Okay, we got game sound. That's good. Just checking. There's probably something going to be wrong with this video. My cam's in the wrong spot. It's not in the ideal location, I guess. Maybe I put my cam over on the top right there, on top of the players over here. How's that? I can make my cam smaller too. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Shit. Oh, angle snapping. Oh yeah, I've got to do control. Nathan taught me that. Okay, boom. Is that good? I could also make my cam smaller. That could work. But this should be fine. Not blocking the kill feed or anything. Okay, so here's big. They're playing back in sights again. So the reason that is bad, of course, is the rotations are late. But it's pistol round, so it's not necessarily the same thing. So Kito's going to peek off this flash. Well, that's his chance come and gone of getting a fair fight, or an unfair fight. But he'll still deliver. He's still putting up numbers. He's still shooting. And they're looking great. Let's move on to the next round. So far, so gravy here for big. Okay, they go for the 3 stack towards banana. What they got cooking? That's the question. Pushing aggressively down banana. I'm telling you right now, guys, they didn't do this a single time when they got 14-1 last time. It's a whole different culture in the big clan right now. These guys, they're on something else. They've been drinking absinthe. They got their bravery stats up. They're looking for the duels. They want that smoke. Oh my god, they're holding on lower. Oh, wow. It's a different clan. It's huge clan now. Already. I'm serious. You think, oh, it's so simple. You just smoke bottom banana, you push. It's scary, guys. It's terrifying to do this versus good teams. But this is the ideal setup right here. This is Plato's ideal form on CT side. 4A and 1 jump spotting the half wall with a smoke at bottom banana. That's literally Plato's ideal form. So now Rotate, guys. Rotate, 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 rotate. Oh my god, rotate. They're coming. If swear to god, if he gets rushed down. Okay, that's all you need to do. See? And this is what the T's need to do. They're trying to freak you out, get you to rotate. Your pick guy doesn't move, of course. Oh, Tizian, he's in danger, but he's fine. Just enough bullets. And now Arch is open. This Vitality finding all the openings here. This is actually really big by them. They get the rotations they want. They push out perfectly. That Hall's push timing, that wasn't a mistake, man. That wasn't a mistake at all. But it's still an unlikely round to win, so big end up winning it. Good rotations. They hit their shots where they need to. Vitality add the right amount of pressure. They still survive. Great round from both teams. No plant for Vitality, but still. Overall, you can see the ideas. The ideas are good. The reason we're not outcome-oriented is because we look for the ideas. Because the ideas will win you games, okay? The outcomes might win you rounds. The ideas win you games. So, similar stuff here versus even worse guns. I'm telling you right now, guys, they didn't do this a single time in the I'm gonna watch the other demo and show you. Two different bigs. Small clan, huge clan. You have no idea. It was so bad last time. So we're waiting, we're waiting. Searson sees a little head skis. Oh, okay. But he doesn't want to throw utility too easy, right? Everybody falls back when they see somebody and gets a smoke down, everything like that. But you're not going to... You don't want to fall for the first jump spot. Ooh, that's a really good punish by Apex. I mean, a great shot. Searson wasn't necessarily trying to fight. It's totally fine. Okay, that's a crazy shot. We look at that from Tabson's screen. Like, what the hell is he supposed to do there? It's still potentially winnable here. Oh, Tizian. Oh, he's been so great. Tizian's been great. The Blast Fall final, Tizian was so solid, man. Gotta say. He's been... So he eats different fruits based on the different teams that they're playing. So versus Vitality, he eats yellow fruits, mangoes, and pineapples. Versus Astralis, it was watermelons and strawberries. It seems to... That didn't work last time, but maybe he got some organic ones. That's why it's working out. Okay, so first, look at this. Look at Big Glenn. Back to old ways. Oh my god. Sitting in the site. Oh, they're going for the re-aggression a little bit. I'm telling you, even stepping out of the site wasn't something they did. Here is where they need to... Here is where they need to try to get some more information. They've got the deep nades and stuff. Okay, so they do a half-wall smoke. This is the classic Big. They throw this from the site. They throw everything from the site. Which these nades are cool in that sense. But look at this. They already smoked the top of Banana, assuming that Vitality would disrespect the smoke. So now their timing's a little bit off. The smoke's going to lose its value. They lose an Arch player. They grab a nice nade on RPK. Very, very healthy grenade. That's organic grenade for sure. And they got their kill. Oh, sorry. No, they don't have a kill. They need information. Big need information now. All right. So Searson's going to come back towards mid. This is good. Still dangerous because of Boiler. He can't necessarily walk out towards middle. And then here, look at the rotations are bad. Because, why guys? Because they didn't have information. Oh, shot, it's missed. Still would have been a 2v2 with that shot. The trade coming. Why'd they make a bad rotation, guys? Because they didn't have information. Why were two players ready to go to CT to B? Because they didn't know that it was an A hit. Why didn't they know it wasn't an A hit? Because they didn't have information. Okay? Can we always remember to never forget that? That is the absolute #1 thing that I need everybody to remember. Okay. So what could be the worst thing that Big Clan do this time around? Try not to get information back when they lose it. Okay. So here they throw this deep, it's a nade that goes out of the window into alt. And they were using these nades versus G2. They're super good. Very effective. But the double pit setup is really strong versus Halls. This is not what Vitality wanted to run into. And look at that. It's working out extraordinarily well. It was a time where they did give up a lot of space, but they also at least have a varied game plan. So I think the very best of the very best, they're always going to go back and get that information. That's Astralis and Vitality. No one else has an Inferno close to theirs. And that's why Big still got stomped in this game. But at the second echelon of team, they'll do a little bit of both, right? They'll do the aggressive posturing. Some rounds they won't play completely back, and you can't expect a big to, go from 0 to 100 like that and completely change up and be confident every round, coming up with a new idea of how to be aggressive, when to do it, all that stuff. There hasn't even been enough time to practice some of these new looks. And you're always going to revert to more passive when you're winning too much or when you're losing too much. Those are two. Why in both those situations? Because you're scared. In both those situations, you're scared of losing. When you're winning too much, we got our quota. How do we just get a couple more rounds? Or just pay passive insight. Because you know why? Listen closely. Okay? This is something that everyone does. It's a human thing that people do. Top teams, shitters and pugs, medium level IGLs, everyone does this. Okay? You create a false equivalency between playing safe and winning. What is that? It is your ape brain telling you that if you live longer in a round, you will come closer to winning the game, to winning the round. If you live longer in a round, if the clock gets closer to 0 by any margin, and you can guarantee that, you are closer to winning by timeout. Obviously not true. Obviously no pro teams think that. Obviously that's ironic. Why is that ironic? Maybe it's not that obvious. Because of course, a good team, they're going to be able to take the map control and then execute on you. They're not going to time themselves out walking around the map. They won't time themselves out. Everybody knows this. But there's something in our brains that tells us if we play passive and we don't die in the first 40 seconds, we come closer to winning the round because the other team might time out. No, you give up space faster. That means the clock is going to work against you. You fight for space more. Like, you have to fight no matter what, right? That's where the cognitive dissonance is. You have to fight somewhere eventually. If you fight later, that doesn't mean that they're going to time themselves out. Fighting earlier might be scarier for that reason. But that's just to say that this is just something that our brains do that is wholly incorrect and cost lots of different teams games. Why don't we go? I'll go ahead and look at the Gambit versus Astralis game for DreamHack Masters as well. They did the exact same thing. And I said, I asked Nafany in the interview. Okay, hold on. Keep watching this. It's actually a very, very important conversation. We talk more about Inferno. Okay, so we're throwing some of the kind of late, top B grenades. And the thing about these nades is it's great, but since you're not watching them, you still don't have that information. You still have no idea if they respected the smokes or didn't. You still didn't get the kill. You still don't free up one person to leave the B site. You stay in a 2-3. So where's the risk that Big are taking? They're playing more stacked towards Arch. But look how uncomfortable they are. Tizian is walking back to mid with an MP9. And the pushes come out and they get traded. They had no info on mid. No info on bracket. No info on B. But they've got Zentaris. Did I forget to tell you that? Of course, they've got Zentaris. But look at this. The two CTs didn't even rotate yet. There was no chance. They were getting info by carrier pigeon with the way that they were playing the setup. There was no way that they were going to know in time. But they still got Searson. Did I tell you about that? This guy right here, Searson. He's going to save the day. 1-on-2, Navera. Oh! He would lose to Searson. That was beautiful. Whatever. That's why we're not outcome oriented. Up until that point, that 1v2, they were losing, right? In that 2v2, they were losing. They were so far away. Until Xanterra's got a 3k spray down sitting on cold versus Arch, which will never happen twice. It is Xantaris, but they were losing. Not a good round to look back on. But Big, they get 6. They get 5. All right, so Xantaris. He's one of the best pit anchors in the game. Whoa, but even the best can lose to an F1 race car peak Mac 10. And Tizian runs out of bullets. Hall's Pop comes in. And listen, the Hall's Pop is good all the time, no matter what you do. Because let's say you take brackets control. Let's say Vitality. They always do four players of brackets after getting some info on B. They hold on to both, but they might be open in halls, right? They might not have someone. They might have someone in boiler, but you could technically walk right past that guy. A halls pop can actually totally subvert the defense in that regard and work. So you know, an early round kind of halls pop, it just can be a good call on the T side. Not to do all the time, because coming out of halls is pretty scary, especially early on when you don't have kills, but it can work. So what do we have now? Well, not great guns. So big say, not great guns. All right, let's do a heavier stack at middle, and we'll keep the op over towards B. We'll play relatively passive over here. Let's see if Vitality can figure this out. So I think maybe, well, everybody invested for the most part. Searson just has some money left over. I already can't remember if he saved a gun last round or not. I think after the halls pop, probably. So they know the op is on Searson. So the game plan for Vitality, find out what guns they have. Don't get opt in the process. Pick a site. Going B, it's, you know, it's blind for Vitality a little bit, right? They don't know what, if there's a huge stack over here. They know there's probably pistols. It's actually very tricky to not get anti-ecoed on Inferno. And gamble stacks will work. They will work. But if you can only guarantee 50% success rate in gamble stacks, you know, 55 if you got a lot of history between you and the team you're playing, it's not a really great half, right? So that's why you don't want to base an entire half around gamble stacks, especially when there's nothing stopping you from getting information. So they go 2 for 2 on the hold. It's not terrible considering, you know, they were taking the risk and gamble stacking top mid. But hey, they get this off of a good flash, and now is a chance for them to win this round. I'd say it's about a 50-50 though. It's a pretty decent setup for the T's, even though it's 3v2. And Apex, I still give him 50-50 on this. He probably just wants to stay hidden. Okay, take the fight, sure. Boom! I guess he couldn't completely pay time there. Had to wait even longer for the... Make sure that Xantares couldn't get the stick. But that's around for Vitality. Not the worst situation in the world for them. I'm going to go ahead and assume that that round is won. And now we're going to take a look here, round 10, where it's not a full strength buy. And this is a situation where I'm half surprised they didn't buy more nades. Got a little bit more, oh, this is great. They get the early kill on lane, and now you can, this is the perfect excuse to turtle up a little bit more, right? You can say, okay, now we can play a bit more passive. Not necessarily always true, but you feel a bit more comfortable. So Vitality, they've sussed out the open choke point and taps in. Oof, tough. Now that he's shown himself, they'll have to win a difficult duel, but oh, he does it sharp. However, Ziwu catches them on the fallback and absolutely lights up Searson. I mean, what the hell was that? But look, the trades go down favorably. I think part of what was good there from Tapson was he delayed. He didn't die right away. He delayed a little bit. He gave his teammates over on B a little bit extra time to deal with the split coming towards them. So that's a 6th round from the big clan. And they start out with an opening kill, right? That makes the trade game a lot easier as well. Different spots on the map open up the lower numbers, the higher numbers you have. So, you know, up 3-1, everyone can play the cheesiest one and done position ever. The nastiest open off angle and try to get 60 damage. It's still a win, as long as you ultimately trade down effectively, right? Oh, that's unfortunate. Xantares caught with nades out. This is the site wide open, but look who's in underpass. And look who's connecting with him. We got Keto coming up. Down banana, like a ball of fury. But RPK is so smart, he actually waits this out. And all the trades come down. No chance here for big. We're going to skip through this eco. And now we're into a fuller rifle round. A lot more grenades. Keto goes ahead and gets a kit and a FAMAS. I don't think you need the best guns ever on Inferno. SMGs can work out. I think nades are really, really important here on CT side. You know, I think some maps, Dust 2, you might not need a full set of nades. On CT side, just get a rifle, get some grenades. It's okay. On Inferno, I would take down to an MP9 to get a full kit in some positions. Of course, you got to have some balance, like all things in life. But look at this. We got info at the bottom banana. But opening trade, okay, goes both ways. Turns into a pretty even strength round. We got the off from Searson. See, this would be a good round for Searson to push. I would say right here would be an awesome round. And they have if Tizian dies. Oh, that was a risk. So the only reason I said that is because Tizian could have been playing in a way that he gets info but doesn't commit. But he decides to swing when they could be attacking completely, which that seems like a bit of a risk, and they get run over on the site. I think that's a really awkward late round situation. It's like a madness or genius position for Tizian. If he got them on the timing where they're at the bottom of banana, one guy was there and he hit the shot and got away. Boom, bigger super winning. 4-4, of course, doesn't mean, you know, bigger guaranteed to win. So playing for some information makes sense. But, of course, him dying means, you know, the odds of them losing just go way, way up. So I think this is where Vitality, they take this round. And, okay, we have one more full strength buy. So let's see how this goes. Now, of course, you can do all that stuff, right? You can play aggressive, get info back, all this stuff, and still lose. Because it is Counter-Strike. Shots do matter. We saw that Searson... Xantaris full house, crazy, you know, individual performance, won a round back, even though Vitality did everything right. So it's just that for the majority of the time, right? This is how you should structure your rounds in ways that makes sense on paper first. So we've got Vitality shooing big all the way up into passive spots. Let's see how Searson plays it. He decides to cut them off in case they go for the B wrap again. Now, of course. Oh, that's tough. Well, Navarra gets a nice trade for him, and they just go through with the wrap. Absolutely insane attack from Vitality. They read it perfectly, really. Like, instead of actually wrapping towards B, they just come through, weave into the A site. And I think hitting Searson was the big one, right? Opera out of the round. Let's just crush it. And it didn't seem like it was going to be a B split because we didn't see anybody on banana. This is the round. Keto doesn't win this. How good was that? Wasn't that great? I want to look at the other game. So this is the game that just happened today. Vitality improving their CT side versus Vitality. Do you guys want to see the other game where they play against Vitality and lost 14-1? I'm going to be tilted the whole time. But they improved now, so that's good. Now it's just not me just raging for no reason. But I'll show you. They didn't push. I don't think they pushed a single time to get info. But there we see when they pushed, how they won, how they brought back ones that they shouldn't have, where they won, where they shouldn't have. Everything. That was a full spectrum of variety of rounds. Oh, man. It's good to be back, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one. I'll keep my intros long and the outros short. See you guys tomorrow for another Lao.